Previewing TK Cunningham, one of the top defensive linemen in the class of 2027.
Locked On presents The Portal, the daily podcast covering college football recruiting and everything NIL. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the Portal Podcast, where you get your daily recruiting, NIL, and transfer portal scoop. I'm your host, Brian Smith, longtime college football writer and recruiting analyst. Thank you for making the Portal Podcast your first listen each and every day. Today, I've got a special guest, somebody I actually met 3 years ago, and it's just wild that he is now about to be a junior in high school, and he's already being heavily recruited. I saw him again recently at the Rivals camp. TK Cunningham from Grayson High School. He will be one of the top prospects, not only in the state of Georgia, but in the nation next year. So let's bring on TK. How you doing, young man? How's everything going for you?
Good. How are you?
Doing very, very well. So you're at Grayson, and for those that don't know, Grayson High School is just a little bit to the east of Atlanta, First County, that direction, and coming off a state championship. You're 6'4", 6'5", you're athletic, you're a defensive end on one of the best defenses in the South. What's it like playing at Grayson, and like with your size and your growth, like how much fun is it? Just talk about like your length and all that, and how's that incorporated into playing for Grayson?
Yeah, it's great playing for a program like Grayson. We have a steady history of just producing greatness, and it's great every day getting to work around people who have the same goals and aspirations as me, which is just to be great. So we're pushing each other every day, and it's something I can appreciate.
How much do you weigh right now, give or take?
200.
200 what? Okay, 220. Well,
240.
240? Okay, so you've got the frame, like you look thin. Like for real, you look, for those you can't see this, you look thin right now at 240. And it's interesting because like some guys are just built different. You're long, like your brother was long. Your dad is a big guy. Like I'm not surprised, but I'm guessing you're going to be 275 by the time you get to whatever school it is. I mean, you got 2 years of high school left. So that brings up my next question. Are you just going to play defensive end this year? Are you going to play any stand-up or anything else, or is it just D end?
We run a 3-3, so I'm more of just DN. But in college, I definitely see myself doing stand-up, wide 9, 6. But
okay. So whatever's necessary, you'll adjust to the occasion. The way the trend is with college players now, you got to know 3-man and 4-man fronts, because you're trying to keep the offenses off balance because they got so many playmakers. Even some of the lower level program like Vanderbilt could be explosive sometimes last year. That's crazy. Never thought I'd ever utter those words in my life, but they were pretty decent last year. So good for them. You've got to be multiple. Do you like playing defensive end? Is that like the only thing that's in your mindset, or do you really care where you line up?
I prefer DN. That's what I've always played. But I refer to myself as an edge. I can play outside, rush the passer. I could drop back, cover a wheel route. But if they need me to play DN, get inside, do a 4-eye, even a 3-tech sometimes, I see myself doing that too.
Okay. Big time fan of versatility, so good for you. And that'll also encourage college coaches to pursue you, because the more versatile you are, the less scholarships they got to hand out to D linemen. They can just move you around. All right, let's talk a little bit about the goals. Let's start with you. What are like some of your goals for this season? And then additionally, what is your goal for the team, Grayson itself?
Personally, my goals this season, honestly, I'm just trying to get bigger, trying to get faster. And the main thing I'm trying to work on is my bend. I'm just trying to stay low. I'm a tall guy, so it's harder for us, but I'm just trying to work on my bend, stay low, get stronger and faster. But as a team this year, ultimately the goal is to go back-to-back. No Grayson team in history has done that, so if we would be the first to do that, it would be something special,
State championship or bust. At Grayson, I get it. And your all's defense is definitely loaded. You got guys all over the place that can make plays. And the front three, second level, and the defensive secondary. So I'm sure that a lot of teams are going to have a hard time scoring against you. Guys open up at Collins Hill, one of the better programs in Atlanta as well. We'll kind of talk about that here in a second. But learning from success, you were part of a state title team last year. Did you learn anything from the seniors, like how to train, some of the guys, like being around them, like what did you learn? It could be recruiting, whatever you want to talk about. How did you learn from some of the older guys last year?
Yeah, so we had a lot of guys that, went to college, all that. One thing I definitely learned from them is take everything one step at a time, 1 second you're freshman, next thing you know, you're still senior year. So one thing I learned from them is definitely take everything one step at a time. Just be patient, not freshman.
Okay, well, unfortunately, a lot of teenagers don't look at it from that lens. Good for you, because patience is a virtue, my friend. It will make a big difference. Now, we mentioned a moment ago that, like, you guys open up with Collins Hill. You'll play Thompson, another good program. Thompson's best program in the state of Alabama. What's it like playing in Atlanta week in, week out? Because, like, whether you're like, I saw you at the Rivals camp, but Atlanta is loaded. I don't think people realize that. Like, I live an hour and a half from the Atlanta airport, so I'm close enough. I get it. But what's it like every week, whether you're at a camp or whatever? Because everybody knows you play at Grayson. That's like you wear a scar on your head, basically, because everybody wants to beat Grayson. Everybody circles Grayson. So what's that like, carrying that around and playing Atlanta talent every single week?
It's great. It's honestly nothing I bet I could ask for. Like, going to college, you want to be prepared going in. So the best way to do it, get prepared in high school. Iron sharpens iron. So going back to back with great guys is great for both of us.
I agree. And it's like, I don't know what it is about the Atlanta area. Like, you're a defensive lineman, but there are so many good offensive linemen that come out of that area too. It's just really crazy. So you get good work in camps or anything else. It's pretty consistent. Last thing, recruiting. It's going to really kick off for guys in your class. Again, your class of 2027, TK. Are you like focused on it, or is it just kind of now starting to get going? Like, are you going to take any recruiting trips this summer? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm most definitely going to take some trips this summer. I don't have anything planned yet, but I got to get that worked out. But still, like I said, I'm still just going to take everything one step at a time. I've been taking it the same way I've been taking it. Just be patient. But, I already know it's going to be amping up this year, so I'm excited for that too.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, being where you're at, and you and I discussed this prior to the show kicking off, Grayson has pretty much every major program come through it. Michigan, Florida State, Texas, whatever it may be, they're going to walk through those halls at some point. So it's an advantage in a way. But do you really care about going away from home, or does that matter? Do you want to stay closer to Atlanta? What's your overall vibe on going to college?
No, I don't care about distance. The best program is the best program. The best fit is the best fit. So wherever that's at, that's where I'm at. So
now that pretty well sums it up. Last thing for me, what is it that you like best about football? I always like asking kids this. This is as open-ended as it gets. Just kind of random question. What do you like best about the game of football?
Man, ever since I was younger, I was always like a rough little rugged kid. So yeah, when I found a way to get that energy out, go on the field, it was my best way. I enjoyed it.
Well, football is physicality and all that. You got to put in a lot of effort. You get run over yourself. So that's a good way to do it. TK, I appreciate it, man. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe. This is TK Cunningham, rising class of 2027, defensive lineman out of Grayson High School, just outside Atlanta. I appreciate it, sir. You have a good one.